This week's episode of the Living Outrageously podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. For a 100% free audiobook of your choice, visit audibletrial.com/LOP.
Welcome to the Living Outrageously podcast. This is a show where we teach you how to stop living a boring life and start living outrageously. My name's Dave Thompson. That is Matt, the Sloth Slayer, Kelly. And this is the show where we teach you the psychology of success, but only for those that want to step up and take that outrageous life. Matt Kelly, impossible is an opinion. We all know that. Dude.
Dave Thompson.
I'm going to say it again. I am literally in love with LOP.
Man, okay, first of all, no shirt? Didn't want to get dressed today.
All right, so I do apologise if I've offended anyone, but there are a number of reasons for this. Firstly, we are getting very close. In fact, next week I'm going to the Beach Handball Nationals, and yes, I'm just getting all very beach handball-y. I'm actually about to go out to training straight after the podcast. That's Excellent. The first thing. The second point is, Matt Kelly, this is a bit of a comfort challenge.
Okay.
Now, it's not always... We're broadcasting to thousands of people here, and, you know, last week we dubstepped. We sort of... Before it, we were like, oh, shit, should we do that? Should we do that? And we were like, yeah, we should do it. And it was awesome. This is a little bit the same, okay? Not particularly the most comfortable thing to get your kid off in front of all these people, but I thought, all right, pushing the limits. It is living outrageously. Yeah. It's like... It's exercising that muscle, that emotional muscle to push through discomfort and take the sloth down. So... How's that for an answer? Yes!
Dead sloth, once again. If you don't know what the sloth is, hit us up episode 1 and you will learn all you need to know about everything.
Indeed. So
everything.
Dude, today, massive episode on the LOP. Yep. I'm so freaking pumped, man.
We're mixing things up a bit. We're going to do quick tips and shout-outs later in the episode. But I think, like, this is too big to put forward any further. It has to be done right now. Guess what, folks? You ask yourself questions right now. You ask yourself questions. Every day, every minute, every second, you are asking yourself a question. If you give yourself a bad answer, you will deliver yourself a bad outcome. How simple is that?
Matt Kelly, today, and you're exactly right, today we're talking about what questions do you ask yourself. Are you asking yourself questions that unlock the sloth? Or are you asking yourself questions that bring out the inner samurai?
Yeah, why would you empower the sloth? Why would you do that? But you do. People do it every day. It
is a choice, Matt Kelly. It is a choice. And today we're going to show you that you can choose. You can, as you said, everyone's asking questions. Ask a shitty question, get a shitty answer. Ask an awesome, outrageous question, get an awesome, outrageous answer. Dude, I want to illustrate the value in questions by telling a story.
Oh, this is amazing. Do it. This is so good.
This is literally an amazing story, and it can be a little bit somber, but you'll see how amazing it is at the end. So, all right, so let's go back to the World Wars. Let's go back to Auschwitz. We know the Holocaust happened. All right, it happened. All right, I've actually been to Auschwitz in Poland there. It's a dank, it's dirty. It's very overcast. It's very miserable. Anyway, there's this guy called Stanislavski or something. I'm going to call him Stan, right? Because I don't fully know his full name. But anyway, Stan has been taken from his family and taken to this concentration camp, all right? And he's been there just a couple of days, and he's looking around him, and there's like people come in, and they're there 1 second, and like 2 minutes later, they're in the gas chamber. And it's horrible, man. There is death, destruction everywhere. It's the worst environment imaginable. Not only that, it's minus temperatures. It's the middle of winter. It's overcast. It's snowing. There's no food. They don't have clothing, man. This is hell on earth. And he's been there a couple of days, and he says to himself, if I stay here another second, another moment, I will die. In that moment, he made the decision to do something about it. And the question that he asked himself was, how can I escape immediately? So all of a sudden, how can I escape this situation immediately?
The question wasn't negative. The question wasn't, man, how can I avoid dying?
It wasn't, why did this happen? Why are the Nazis so bad? Why Poland? Why my family? Why my village? He's none of that self-pity stuff. How can I escape immediately? And that's what he's focused on. And then guess what that led him to? So he's just walking around. How can I? And he's demanding the answer, just like we always talk about on the LOP. Yeah. How can I escape from this immediately? And then he goes up to the gas chamber and he looks at it and he looks at the back of the gas chamber. And there are the Nazi guards picking up the dead bodies out of the gas chamber and throwing them into a truck. Throwing them into the back of a truck, and then he's watching, and then he sees that truck drive out of the front gate, because obviously they want to dispose of the bodies, right? They're taking them to an open grave outside of the facility. They've gassed them. They don't want them hanging around. They take them away. He looks at this destruction and, man, I can't even imagine. That would be hell to see that. He could have asked himself a question of sloth. He could have said, again, why is this happening? This is so bad. Like, how did our government let this happen? But no. He looks at this situation with the Nazi guards picking up these bodies and rotting flesh everywhere into a truck, and he says to himself, how can I use this to escape immediately? And he demands the answer, and then it comes to him, Matt Kelly. It comes to him. The answer comes to him. He takes off his clothes. He jumps in with the dead bodies when the guards aren't looking. Sure enough, the guards pick him up, throw him into the back of the truck with the dead bodies, and then the dead bodies get piled on top of him, on top, rotting flesh. He's under all this rotting flesh, and he's there for hours. The truck sits there for hours. Like, this is the morning he jumps in, he's sitting there all day. Then in the afternoon, the truck goes out, dumps him in the open grave, and he waits there till nighttime, another 6 hours with all these bodies on top of him. When the truck goes away and it's all clear, he gets up, climbs through all the rotting flesh, and then he runs 25 miles in the middle of the night in -2 degrees to his freedom. All because he asked himself a freaking awesome question.
Ask the right question, get the right outcome. Ask a bad question, ask the wrong question, ask a sloth question, and what's going to happen? You're going to get a sloth answer. You're not going to get the answer that you need in that situation. You're not going to get the answer you want. If he had asked himself a sloth question, he would have died. Pretty much instantly. He had no time.
Absolutely he would have died. Man, this is powerful stuff. I hope this illustrates no matter... The reason questions are so powerful is no matter what situation you are in your life, no matter how bad something seems, demand the answer and you can find a way. Man, can you think of a worse situation than being a prisoner of war in the Auschwitz camp, man, in the Second World War? Like, what? Hitler, Nazi Germany?
Yeah.
But he asked and he found the way and he found his freedom, man. So put that in perspective. Oh, I don't have enough money to go out for dinner. Dude, that is child's play. Like, seriously? Like, come on. Let's put some...
We're talking live or die here. We're not talking about... Man, yeah. if you're watching this podcast, you're in the 1, 2, 3% already. So you really have no excuse but to deliver amazing things.
You're going to ask yourself questions anyway. So you may as well start asking some freaking awesome questions.
Yeah. Can we talk a bit more about the types of questions that people ask?
Yeah.
So well, in these situations, right, all the time, no matter what happens to you, there's a question that goes on in your head. We haven't really spoken about what those questions are, what they can be, right? So
an example.
I could be sitting here and I could be like, okay, I have to accomplish this project because the outcome is, if I accomplish this project, I get to do this, right? All those things will happen as a result. Now, procrastination can set in. Okay, it happens to everyone, man. Everyone gets that feeling of procrastination unless they've worked out, that question, that meaning, like, why am I accomplishing this? So the question could be, what if it doesn't work? Or, like, why am I doing this? So what will happen if I get it wrong? Like, those questions can go through your head, right? They can. Like what happens if, like, oh, why bother? It might stuff up. They're very sloth-like questions, but they happen, right? And everybody asks themselves questions. It happens every minute of every day, every moment there's a question. Right now, we have questions going through our heads constantly.
Right now, podcast viewers have questions going through their heads.
Yeah.
Such as, are these guys Fruit Loops? Are these guys good? Does Dave have a hairy chest? Does Dave smell with his shirt off? All these sort of questions,
There's a million questions going on. And the question could be still, I've just clicked onto this podcast. We're now 11 minutes in. Am I going to stay? Am I going to go? Right? That's a question. That's a question. You decide in the first couple of minutes. So that's a question. There's literally any number of millions of questions you could be asking yourself at any one time.
So this, again, Kelly, reinforces how important questions are, because the questions you ask yourself have three main impacts. And the first one is they change your focus. They change your focus. So if you're saying, what was the one? Why won't this work? Or I'm not sure this will work. Your focus goes looking for reasons why it won't work.
You're looking for negativity. It's like when you walk outside, you see the old person get hit by the car, right? We talked about this 1 or 2 episodes ago. If you look outside and see someone get hit by a car, right? You can easily set the meaning in your head that if I walk on the road, I get hit by a car, right? And you're always looking for evidence of people getting hit by cars to validate that thought. If you sit here and focus on a negative thing, on something negative, if your question is negative, you're going to find reasons for a negative outcome.
Absolutely. And that brings up the second reason why this is so, man, questions are so important, because the question you ask yourself determines what you are going to delete. So think about Stan in Auschwitz, right? Yeah. When he asked himself the question, how can I use this right now to immediately escape, he blocked out the possibility of even considering he could have focused on the trauma and all the bad things that were happening around him, but was that going to serve him in that moment? No. He deleted it. He just deleted it and only laser focused on what was going to serve him in that moment right then.
Because he was able to say, this is the situation I'm in. Here are the variables. Using only those variables, what can I do right now to escape? Nothing else. No external influences involved. What can I do with just what I've got in front of me? So his focus completely shifted from those just like thoughts of why, how, what happened. Forget all that. It doesn't matter. Right now, I have to do something with what I'm given. I have to.
And it unlocks more resources, Matt Kelly.
Yeah.
More resources. So he could have been walking around that prisoner of war camp thinking, man, I got enough, man. I don't have a machine gun. I don't have any weapons. Like, I don't know any guards that would give me a favor and let me escape. Man, I don't have any friends on the outside that could help me. No. He's looking around going, all right.
That truck is leaving here with people in it.
Yes.
It's literally leaving. The truck is a vehicle. That is a form of transport that I can use. Prior to that, the truck... Okay, so you could go into that thinking, that truck takes dead bodies out. I am alive. Therefore, I cannot use the truck. But he didn't, because he saw the truck was sitting there at one point and went through the gates at another point. Forget everything else. That's all he needed. That's all he needed was to go, that truck is the vehicle. That is the gateway to my exit. So suddenly, shifted focus. That is epic resourcefulness. Go watch Bear Grylls, man. Make stuff out of nothing. Like, this is hectic. This is hectic stuff. You can literally go through and, like, totally focus. Like, think about your skill set. That's another one, man. Your personal skill set. What am I good at? Right? Not what do I suck at. I may not be the best at English, but I know people that are good at English. I know people that can help me with this. I can outsource this. I can get help with this. Use that around you and don't focus on what you can't do. Focus on what you can do awesomely. And the stuff that you don't want to do, push out elsewhere. Man, it's all that mindset.
What we're doing here, you're exactly right, Matt Kelly. You literally are a genius. You literally are a genius.
I make stuff up and I hope that it works.
But you are unlocking the samurai here.
Absolutely.
The samurai.
Absolutely.
You know what, man? You know what I think it's like? Asking yourself questions is like going into an all-you-can-eat buffet, right?
Yeah.
And it costs $1 to get into this buffet, okay? You walk in. Now, over here, you can choose the refried beans, all right? You can get a big bowl of refried beans, all right? Or you can go over here and you can get yourself a fresh king crab, and a lobster, and what else? And baked reef fish, and filet mignon steak, and the finest champagnes.
So here's the kicker, right? Right, you're gonna eat because you're hungry. So
Yeah.
you're gonna take your plate and you're gonna walk over there, right? In the same way that you're gonna ask yourself questions. So you're standing there, right? And you're looking down there at the beans, and you're looking over there at the gourmet smorgasbord of deliciousness. And you're like, which way am I gonna walk with my plate? Which way am I gonna go? Am I gonna go? Beans are okay, right? You can do that. You can do that. You can, if you want to do that, you can do that. Or you can go to the epic, crazy, amazing adventure plate over there, right? And get whatever you like. You're gonna ask yourself questions anyway. I love that example. That's such a good example because you ask. Man, freaking turning point right there. You're gonna ask yourself questions. You have to ask yourself questions. You will every minute of every day. You either ask yourself the sloth question, right, and just let it happen, and it could be negative, it could be anything, or you completely refocus and ask yourself the samurai question, which is, I want an amazing outcome. How can I get the amazing outcome? I can't ask myself the sloth question. What? Eat the Alaskan king crab. What are you thinking?
Man, this is so awesome. We are unlocking the power of the samurai, showing his resourcefulness, man, unlocking capability. You know, if people aren't convinced that they're asking themselves questions already, when you were talking about that, they're probably going, oh, do I like king crab? Do I like lobster?
Yeah, I'm allergic to seafood. I can't eat seafood. This is not appealing to me.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. The question could be anything, right? The question could be anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just a matter of taking the focus of, so what is the content of the question? What is the topic? What is the key takeaway? Is it a negative question or a positive question? If it's a negative question, it's a sloth question, right? And you're going to give yourself a negative outcome. You're sitting there pondering the negative thoughts.
You know what the scary thing is, Matt Kelly? The majority of the population, they are just not aware they have the power to direct the questions that they ask themselves.
Yeah.
It's an unconscious thing. They don't even know that they're doing it.
That is a huge majority of people that have never even thought about this.
Remember, man, the 95% of the journey is awareness. Once you are aware that you're asking yourself a question of the sloth, you can change it, man. You can change it. Ask a question of the samurai. And today on the LOP, that is what we're going to help people do, man. Start to ask questions of the samurai.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Ah! Ah! All right, this is gonna be fun. Let's do this. Okay, so first step, and we've got steps for you. I think it's 4 steps this time. 4. So we're gonna work out what question you've been asking yourself so far. We're gonna do a few little things. We're gonna work out
the beliefs, Dave, the beliefs. We're gonna go further. So what causes you to ask that question? Why do you ask it? What's causing that, and what will happen if you do ask that question?
And then we're going to go even deeper, Matt Kelly, and find the root of that question. We're not just dealing surface level here, man. We're going to the root. We're going to that tree. We're going to pull that tree out, and we're going to plant some samurai right there.
Yep. Oh, so, but it gets better. It gets better, because after that point, after you've worked out where it all came from, why it happened, what caused it, right, and why you continue to do it. Guess what? You make up your own questions. What? You make up your own questions. You decide what you want to ask. You make your own decisions. Are you kidding me? Why would you ask a sloth question? You get a sloth answer. Make up a samurai question and you'll be the samurai eternally.
Alright, this is going to be so fun.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
So, alright, I want to illustrate this. Once again, LOP, transparent, laying it all out, really personal here. I'm going to lay it out on my personal example, okay? So, the number 1 step, work out what your primary question is at this moment right now. Now, so you need to ask yourself, what is the question that I always focus on? What is the question that I always ask myself consistently and constantly? In every situation in my life, what is the one question that keeps popping up? And you know what it was for me, Matt Kelly? Am I doing it right?
Yeah.
For you, it could be, am I good enough to start a business? Will people still like me if I live outrageously?
What will my friends say? What will my friends think? Will it work?
What am I doing with myself? Why am I even here?
Why? That is a huge one. That is a huge one. Why am I even here? What am I trying to do? What am I accomplishing?
You're sitting in a cubicle, that's probably a big one. I know the very few occasions in my life that I've sat in a cubicle, I've said that pretty much every second of every day. Why am I here?
This is clearly not right. Why?
So, all right, let's work it out. So you pick what yours was. We've run through a few there. There's bound to be one. Make your own one. So mine was, what am I doing? I have so many questions now. Man, you know why I'm having a bit of trouble remembering it? Because I've scrambled it so much. I sort of don't. Am I doing it right? That's right. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Now, what are the beliefs? What do you believe will happen if you ask yourself that question? So my belief was, if I am doing things right, people will respect me. I firmly believe that. If I am doing things right, people will praise me. If I am doing things right, people will love me and all my friends. I'll have lots of friends and I'll belong and I'll be considered the expert. So those were the beliefs. All right, those were the beliefs. I also believed that if I got it wrong, I would be humiliated. People would not like me. I would have no respect, no social status. I would just be, I guess, sloth. I would be nothing. I would mean nothing. My life would be nothing if I was wrong. Now, so what do you believe will happen if you go out and start a business? If you're asking yourself, am I good enough to start a business? Well, what do you believe will happen? If I start a business, people will laugh at me. People will ridicule me.
You know what? I'd even argue, like, what will happen if you start a business? Like, it could be, like, is my business going to even be successful? So like, forget about the outcomes of actually starting a successful business. If you go into it questioning whether or not it's even going to be successful at the very beginning, if you're going in there, like, if you've got even a question in your mind as to whether or not it's going to work, you are giving yourself the worst start.
Probably not. Just a little interlude there, Matt Kelly. Our personal beliefs and the personal questions we ask ourselves about the LOP, man, we ask ourselves stuff like, how can we make this podcast even more awesome right now?
Yeah.
You know, it's not even a consideration that this podcast is gonna bomb. Right? The only thing that we're bombing here on the LOP is we're dropping freaking big bombs on the sloth. All right? Every single day, and I firmly... You know, if I didn't believe in this podcast, would I be shirtless? You know, seriously, I believe that's a big step. It's a big step. So, work out what your primary question was. What are you always asking yourself? And then what did you believe would happen if you asked yourself that question?
Yeah.
Now, let's go to the really deep level. What is that significant emotional event, that emotional experience that caused you to ask that question?
Absolutely. Because something has happened in time where you started asking this question.
It could be. It's a lot like the defining moments from the other episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you might have to go back into your past, go back to high school, go back to 0 to 7. So to illustrate, I'm going to share my personal example. Okay, so my question was, am I doing it right? And you know where that came from? This is actually slightly embarrassing and fairly funny at the same time. So I was in grade 1. I was like 6 years old. I was living in Sydney and I was playing football at lunchtime with my friends. The bell rang. I didn't hear it. I kept playing football with my friends. When I finally realized that class was back in, me and my friends, we ran in, jumped back into the class, and then my teachers absolutely cut sick at, cut sick at me, like, you're late for class, you know, what are you doing? Rah, rah, rah. I'm just like, you know, I was a goody two-shoes, man. I was like a sweet little boy, like never get in trouble, you know, comb over hairstyle, lunch always packed, pants always up, you know, and now I'm getting in trouble for being late back from lunch. Teacher's like, put your nose on the blackboard now. I'm like, all right, I've never done that before. So I go over to the blackboard and I actually put my nose on the board, okay? Actually put my nose on the board. Now, my mates who I played footy with, they're with me as well, but they got in trouble all the time. All right, so they knew how this rolled. I actually put my nose on the blackboard, and because I was hot and sweaty, my nose started to run, and then this massive little thing comes down the blackboard, right? It's like a waterfall, man. It's a waterfall. Everyone in the class saw and starts laughing at me and paying me out like, My mates who were standing next to me, they're like, turn and they look like, man, you're a freaking retard. Like, don't actually put your nose on the board. So every single person is laughing and humiliating me, man. And you know what I decided in that moment? If I don't get it right, I will get humiliated.
Yeah, wow.
That's when I was 6, man. How's that for fucked up?
So man, that question that's the question then that was sourced at that point in time stays with you. And even though the meaning changes, even though like people will laugh at me might change, on a deeper level, I will be humiliated, right? People will see that I'm doing it wrong, right? Suddenly, everything is drawn to it and you're focused on something negative.
You know what it comes down to? It comes down to the 3 deepest fears that every human has. The fear that you won't belong, the fear that you won't be loved, and the fear that you're not good enough.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. I was shit scared that all of those things were going to happen.
So for the purpose of this exercise, you need to go back in time and go back to when you feel like you first asked that question, right? Or when you first felt that feeling that has caused you to ask the question. There will be a point in time, right? And it's likely to be when you were really young, but it could be any time really, because you ask so many different questions all the time. The primary question, the 1, 2, 3, the primary questions you ask, they were sourced at a particular moment. Something happened and you were like, damn, like anytime X happens, Y is the result. Every time. In Dave's case, every time I do it wrong, I get humiliated. So, for the purpose of this exercise, you've actually completely identified that, man, that is a bad belief. Yeah, I'm not going to be humiliated every time something goes wrong. I'm not going to. But because it was so deeply ingrained on an emotional level, you can't like you've got to get past that.
So, like, how much stuff has gone wrong on this podcast, Matt Kelly?
In general?
Yeah, we've had a fair few hiccups.
Yeah. Things don't always go to plan.
Man, our internet connection's pretty poor.
Always. Yeah, we live in Australia. For the rest of the world, you guys don't know how lucky you are. You really
we're like barely able to do video Skype.
That's appalling too. Come on, Australia, keep up, dudes, please.
Man, how crazy is the States for internet connection?
Everywhere, man. And everywhere is
everywhere except Australia.
Oh, we're shocking. We are honestly shocking. It's terrible. For the first world country that we are, this is not good. Yeah, not good. But I'm sure that's being worked on in some office somewhere, hopefully.
I think the government's doing studying it or something.
Yeah, and you know what? And their proposed strategies probably won't work. So we will probably find ourselves somewhere near you in the future.
There's another point, Matt Kelly. I just want to quickly bring this up as a little segue. Man, governments are how infected by sloth are governments?
I would argue that you could walk into any government operation, cut 50% of the people immediately, okay, and with a few tweaks, achieve a 200% better result. I didn't do any maths there, I just threw out some numbers, but that sounds totally achievable to me. Governments are sloth-ridden to the epic max, dog.
Dog. Man, they need Snoop Dogg to go in there and like blow some shit up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you heard the new Snoop Dogg song?
I think I have. I think I saw it on YouTube.
With Khalifa and
I should actually dig that up. Oh no, we can't play it on the podcast. All the
Oh, that's
all the
our
sober
internet
stuff,
connection
man.
isn't
We'll get
fast
taken off YouTube.
Oh, dude, snap. Now, by the way, that new Snoop Dogg song, he does talk about smoking weed and drugs, which I don't actually like, but, oh, that's right, it's called Young, Wild, and Free.
Just get past that. Focus on the music. Forget the words, not relevant. Unless you like them, then sure.
Young, Wild, and Free is pretty cool.
All right. So back on topic.
Back to the business.
So,
Okay, segue over.
You've identified what your questions are. You've identified the beliefs tied to the questions. You've identified that core emotional event that happened. Guess what? The fun part, holy damn, make up a new question. What?
Yes!
You make it up. You make up the new question.
Are you serious, Matt Kelly? I can go to that buffet,
Man.
and I can choose the lobster, man. What you talking about?
You literally make up the question you want to make up. What do you want to ask yourself?
Oh, dude,
What?
I want to ask myself some amazing questions that were just Samurai's just like
If you're gonna make up a question, if you're gonna ask yourself a question anyway, why would it be a bad question? You make up a good one.
Amazing question. Ask yourself an amazing question. So, hot tips for asking amazing questions. And right here is a secret sauce. This is how to really supercharge your questions. It's not just like, how can I do better?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. That's like samurai. That's like junior samurai.
Yeah.
That's like samurai in training. That's like the apprentice samurai. The samurai master, he will use and check this. He will use questions like even more. A phrase like right now.
Yeah.
How can I do this even more outrageously right now? How can I make this podcast even more successful right now? Okay, you know why that's awesome? It presupposes that you're already successful.
You're already successful. You're already awesome. It's already outrageous.
Okay. Check this, Matt Kelly. Check this. If you are listening to this podcast right now, you are living outrageously. So the question is, how can you live even more outrageously right now? How does that change your state?
Man. That should, when you ask yourself that question, if you don't get excited by the question, it's a shitty question.
Just keep working on it. Keep working on
Yeah.
it. Keep working on it until you get really excited by the question.
Absolutely.
Until you get that until your state changes. Because remember, you ask the question, it changes your focus, and therefore it changes your state. You go from a shitty state of frustration or anxiety or lack of confidence to, hell yeah, I'm awesome. How can I be even more awesome? Right now!
Amazing.
Right now! Man, the resources that you will unlock, how can I be even more awesome right now? You know what, man? You know, there's a common problem that a lot of people face, and actually one of my friends faced this problem this week. She needs money.
Yep.
She needs money. Instead of saying, I'm so poor, or, you know, asking a sloth-like question, how come I'm poor? Why me? Why am I so poor? Why did this happen to me? How can I earn even more money right now?
Yep.
Just asking that question automatically unlocks all these potential resources. You'd be walking around the street, just going, oh, 5 cents, sweet, more money. You'd be walking around and you just, oh, I could do this for this person. Oh man, I've got all that stuff in my closet that I can sell. Ooh. The resources just become massive. So, man, this is so powerful. You're going to ask questions anyway. You're going to go to the buffet. What are you going to choose? You're going to choose the refried beans. You're going to choose rock lobster, king crab, smoked salmon, filet mignon, 5-star Michelin restaurant meals. It's all the same price, man. Both cost $1. What are you going to choose? Dude, that is awesome.
Choose your own freaking questions. Do not take the sloth questions. I don't know. I don't think we need to harp on it anymore. I think it's so simple, man.
It's an easy one, yet again.
Man, look, we love the easy ones because you've really got no excuse. We've given you all the information you need to make that decision, and now you're going to notice yourself asking the questions. You'll have no... It's kind of like... I'll give you an example. It's kind of like when you get good at something or become an expert in something and you see other people doing it, you can't help but analyse it. Okay? I bet this is the same with you with rugby, right? When I studied film and TV, right? When I studied that, every TV ad I watch now, I can't help but critique. I look at how they did that shot. I look at how that worked. I looked at like, oh man, that was an interesting transition between those two shots, right? I can't help but to sit back and watch it as a TV ad. I bet it's the same with you with rugby, right?
It is, man. It is.
You could watch the national level teams do something and critique it in great depth, okay, because you've gone and studied it yourself. This is one of those times where now that you've learnt this, now that you know this, when you ask yourself a question, you can't help but question the question. You're now going to think about it, right? That means that you're at a turning point. You've come down this pathway and you're at the T intersection, right? You come to here. You can either, right now, I'm sorry, this is the truth, you can either do something dumb and take the sloth turn like you always have, or you can make a decision at that point. You can say, I need to make a turning point. There is an exit there. It's going to be rocky. It's going to be hectic, but it's going to be freaking amazing. I need to make that turn. If you don't make the turn, if you ignore this, okay, you're gonna notice the question anyway, and you're gonna know it's a sloth-like action that you take. Do not do it, please. Do not take the sloth action.
Please do not, man. Here on the podcast, Sloth Hunter, Samurai Master, dude. We just hunt down the sloth. That's what we do. Matt Kelly, bonus coming up. Coming up. This is a secret sauce. This is how to really turn this shit right up, man. Right up. So some people out there are going to they're going to do this exercise and then be like, you know, Dave, I've actually got a pretty good question. Yeah. Like it's already awesome. You know, it's already awesome. So two-step approach. First of all, keep in the awesome question. Keep it. You can have a couple that you ask yourself, right? Keep it in there, man. If it's serving you, keep it in there. Ask yourself this. How can I make my primary question even more outrageous right now? Yeah. So you will make your question and then you'll be like, "Ooh, is that right? Can I make that question better?" Yeah. Great questions to ask. Keep pushing the bar, man. The bar's here. Push the bar higher. Ask a better question. Ask a better question. Ask a better question. If you're all right, here is the sloth killer. This is the sloth killing tactic right here. As you go forward in your life, today, tonight, whatever, tomorrow, and if at any point you start to feel crappy, frustrated, bored, any sort of negative feeling, ask yourself the question, just what question am I asking myself right now? Yeah. And then it'll be like, well, if you're sitting in the cubicle and you're bored, it'll be like, why am I here? Yep. All right. We've identified the sloth question. Let's cut it. What would the samurai ask? The samurai would be looking for, like, if you're in a cubicle, the samurai's looking for the exit, man. Yes, he's looking for the exit, or, because we don't always say, you know, this podcast is not all about quit your job. No, it doesn't need to be. It's not all about that. It's not all about that. Are you saying that it could be about instilling the outrageousness, instilling the opportunity, instilling the adventure? It could be. The things that you actually want it to be, as opposed to what it is in a passive sense? How could I live outrageously while working in the office? Well, how does that unlock the brain power? Yeah. All these ideas that I've had for making the business better, I could go take them to my boss. Better yet, I could just do them. Ask for forgiveness. I love this one. Don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. Always, with everything. Just do it, man. Just freaking do it. Right, and then if people cut sick, just say, oh, I'm sorry, I was trying to make things better. You know, if you always ask for permission, it's not always going to happen. People are going to say, no, you can't do that. Yeah. That would disturb my comfort and certainty. No, No, but if you do it...
They won't say that, but in almost every case, that's what they're actually worried about.
That's right. That's right. So, Matt Kelly, there's some tactics to supercharge it, man. Supercharge it. Anytime you feel that sort of, you're feeling crap, what question are you asking yourself? Insert samurai question. Dude, I think that is just about a wrap.
That's it, man. Now, we've got some hectic quick tips coming, and these ones here, these aren't silly ones. They're not ridiculous ones. These are like amazing quick tips that will deliver outrageous results.
Oh yes,
outrageous results.
You've been pumping yours up, and I don't know what it is.
Man, I'm excited because I can't tell you what it is.
It's a Matt Kelly quick tip.
This is another sort of self-created quick tip, and I think it's gonna work for people. I think it is. I've used it subconsciously for a long time. It's gonna work. Before we do, I want to talk to you about a book. A new segment, the book tip. Okay, this week, go and listen to Giant Steps by Tony Robbins. Now, we know Tony Robbins is the man, okay? He's the man. He's the dude that inspires all of us. He's an incredible, influencer in the world. Basically, I shouldn't have to hype up Tony Robbins. If you haven't heard of Anthony Robbins, you need to go look that up right now. Yeah. Basically, this book is called Giant Steps. It's and the little byline for that is small changes to make a big difference. Right. This is his lessons in the book that came after Awaken the Giant Within. Awesome concept. Now, on Audible, they've got an abridged version, okay? It is only 2 hours and 6 minutes long. That is 2 hours that you can smash in your daily commute, and it will change your life.
Awesome.
All you have to do is go to audibletrial.com/LOP, enter your email address right there, do the registration, please, and then go in there and look up Anthony Robbins' Giant Steps, download it for free on us. You've also got a 2-week free trial to Audible. Man, you can literally get the book for free and keep it forever, even if you cancel your account. They've got 100,000 titles. They're available on 500 plus devices. The average book reader reads 5 books a year. The average Audible subscriber downloads 17 books a year. Man, if you want to get educated, if you want to experience the real world, download books, go to Audible, go to the URL. It's amazing. Man, awesome.
That's awesome. And I just want to take this opportunity to say, man, thank you to everyone that has signed up for Audible.
Yeah, for sure.
There are people out there on this podcast that are taking action to educate themselves. Man, the outrageous life is only heading it's heading your way. See,
if you have, all of you guys who have, all you guys, and we know there's heaps of you that have, go onto the facebook.com/livingoutrageously and tell us what you've downloaded and rate it. Tell us what you think of it, because we'll go and download it. That's what we want to do next. So yeah, please do that. We'd love to know what you think of Audible.
Awesome. Kelly, is it time for a Matt Kelly quick tip?
It is. We've got shout outs coming up shortly. We've got some amazing ones of those. Before we do, quick tip. Quick tip, ready? I've given this a name. It is the 30-minute market evaluation and influence identifier.
All right.
The 30-minute market evaluation and influence identifier.
Okay.
Now, this is about getting educated, in the space that you choose to work in. So, I want to start a business, right? Okay, what do I want to do? What am I an expert in? What do I know more about than other people, okay? So, you know what you're good at. You've got an idea. You're like, yeah, I could do that. I could write an ebook about that. I could podcast about that, whatever it is, right? Take 30 minutes, half an hour. Spend 10 minutes on Google. Google it. Look up what products are out there. Get a little spreadsheet and just copy and paste into a spreadsheet as to sort of what's out there, what's interesting, right? Products, what people are talking about, whatever, okay? So just a little bit of Google search to try and work out if it's a massive market. If it's not, you can use sneaky quick tip. Use Google's keyword tool. You can suss out the monthly searches, all that stuff. The second 10 minutes. So you've done that. LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn and look up groups and people that have mentioned the phrase, the industry, it could be goldfish, whatever it is, and look up who the influencers are in that space, okay? So if you look up goldfish, you might find the CEO, the board of whatever, right, for the National Board of Goldfish Management, right? It would be worth contacting them, right? Even just to do a little introduction, hey, this is me, I'm looking at this market, or I like this, whatever, wanted to reach out. It could be as simple as that. People are always willing to talk to someone who's passionate, who's demonstrating what they believe, showing their dream, right? People get excited about that. So the third 10 minutes is contact people, right? Contact people, because you just found all the influencers. If you contact 10 people, you're likely to get one reply. And if you get a reply from a high profile person in that space, man, that will motivate you like there is no belief. That is the Matt Kelly 30-minute market evaluation and influence identifier. Done. Do it now. Use your whiteboard to do it if you have to. Whatever you like. That is it, Dave. I'm excited.
Awesome. Awesome. Matt Kelly, I like that. I like that.
It's all about action, man. You can sit there and you can sit there and just think about it and look at it and whatever, or you can take action. 30 minutes, and that will deliver a huge result if you do it. If you make good use of that time, man, I guarantee you, if Monday morning you start work on your project, right, and you just start like you usually would in a day, you will have done a bit. You'll made some progress. There'll be some procrastination in there. There's probably a couple of effective hours. Do the 30-minute exercise, and only take 30 minutes to do it, and you will see results.
I like it, Matt Kelly. Talking about huge results, my quick tip is, it's a bit of a health tip, man. Go check, I think I might have said it before, but I want to bring it home again. Go to Bikram Yoga, man.
Yeah.
Bikram Yoga. It's the hot yoga. It's where you go into the room. It's 38 degrees. You do 26 different postures, 13 standing up, 13 on the floor, and the whole man, this is the samurai's training ground. It connects the mind, body, and spirit, man, in a way it will just give you so much power. If you can handle being 38 degrees, what's that in the States? Like 110 or something? 120?
Yeah, like at least 110, yeah.
Something like that. It's 120 degrees, and you're in there for 90 minutes exercising. Dude, that sharpens the discipline. That's sharpening the sword of the samurai. Not only that, man, these postures, they work every single part of your body. Get the blood moving through. They massage every single organ in your body.
Yeah.
Dude, Bikram, bonus, Bikram will fix any injury that you've had.
Wow.
There are so many examples. People have been in a car accident. They've had a crushed knee. Doctors have said by the age of 60, you'll have this, osteoporosis, knee reconstruction, all this stuff. You'll need, drink milk. They go to Bikram. 6 months later, their knee is fixed.
Amazing.
Dude, there are literally amazing stories. People getting their hands crushed in work accidents. And they go to Bikram. They're fixed. Someone getting their ankle run over. 1 year later, like crushed ankle. 1 year later, they're climbing Everest. Man, I from personal experience, I've done Bikram ages. Dude, I can backbend like a mofo now. Like Matrix style, hey.
Yeah.
I had so many injuries from rugby, but it's awesome. So that's my quick tip, Matt Kelly. If you want to live the life of the samurai, you've got to be fit, you've got to be healthy, up to fend off the soft.
All right, Dave. All right. I've got something even more exciting than anything else.
So excited. Come on, man.
We've got shout-outs to do. We've got shout-outs. Connor Hastings. Now, potentially up there for the running of Fan of the Year. Right?
Yes.
Connor has gone, guys, it is ridiculous that you are not #1 in iTunes. And we're like, thanks. We didn't want to say it ourselves, but thanks, we agree. So Connor's like, instead of sitting there and thinking about it and going, yeah, no, Connor took action, man. Connor wrote a letter to the editor, right, of the Daily Nexus, which is the University of California's, like, news organization, right?
Yeah.
Connor wrote a kick-ass article about regaining your life's focus by living outrageously. It's amazing, man. So Connor literally wrote a big, long, like, letter about a fictional character, the freshman who's just chilling, doesn't really know what they're doing, they're a bit lost, and ultimately goes through this whole purpose of, like, what's going on, what am I doing, why am I here, right? And he doesn't really understand what he's trying to accomplish by being there. And then at the end, bam, Living Outrageously plug. I need to quote the end here. Living Outrageously is a class that ought to be required for every student entering college, but isn't. It is actually a video podcast on iTunes hosted by two very enthusiastic Australians, and what it does is give you the tools to identify where you ultimately want to be and show you what actions you can take to make progress towards your goals each and every day. Connor, thank you so much. We've thanked you on the Facebook. I cannot thank you enough. I feel like calling you. If I'm ever near you, I'm going to come visit and give you a hug. That is freaking amazing. No, seriously, man.
It is, man. That is
so big. For someone, We didn't ask him to do that. He was like, this will help someone. Someone will get value out of this. And he's done it. And he just went and did it. That is so good. That is so good. And we appreciate that so much. We've got huge plans. We've got huge plans. Yeah. And if you want to be involved with this, if you want to help out, if you want to take part, if you want to be part of the Living Outrageously organization, the society, the movement,
the tribe,
get involved. Just get in touch with us. There's so much that we want to do. And if we've got you helping us, it can only get bigger and better.
Share the truth, spread the love. That is what it's all about on the LOP.
Yep.
Matt Kelly, some people have been giving us love on the iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews as well. These are both from the USA. We've got Guy CM said it doesn't get any better. Two guys are so inspiring and energizing. Without a doubt, the place to go to adrenalize your life. I love that. Adrenalize your life. That's a cool phrase.
I like that.
And it was the second one here from Need Traffic Free. I think he meant Need Traffic, and I think that was an SEO attempt. But he wrote, he/she wrote, this is so worth listening to. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Need Traffic Free. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Reminder about Dave's giveaway.
Yes. So what we're gonna do, all iTunes reviews up until the 31st of January. We're going to look at them all, and Matt Kelly's going to be the judge. And the best iTunes review, we're going to give away a copy of. It's a Tony Robbins interview with Russell Brunson. Russell Brunson is this awesome internet marketing dude who was at college, and he didn't know he was a wrestler. He wanted to keep wrestling. He graduated college. He's like, hell no, I'm not working a job. Starts an internet marketing business, selling an ebook about how to fire a potato gun, how to fire a spud gun. Makes a buttload of money. He's the man. I'm just going to give it away. Give it away. Free. Best review. Matt Kelly. Matt Kelly.
It's been a big episode.
It's been a big... Is that a wrap?
I think it's a wrap. We've got to go and buy shoes for the wedding now, Dave.
Oh, man. And then Beach Handball.
It's going to be a big day.
It's going to be the best day ever, man. And then let's go have Thai curry tonight.
I would very happily go and get a Thai curry tonight. Let's do it. Let's do it, because that is living outrageously, Dave.
Yes. Matt Kelly. And you know what else? We're going to try something new. We're not going to say at the end, we normally say, if you want a boring life, go live in a cubicle. But I'm pretty sure everyone already knows that. So, we're going to leave with a little sneaky little question. You won't let the sloth win, will you? My name's Dave Thompson. That's Matt Kelly. We will catch you on the other side.
Peace out, everyone.